Hi folks, Gordon Brewer here. One of the things that I started thinking about this week, and really this morning in particular as I was working on some blog posts, is the process I've kind of had to go through internally and just thinking about my practice and what decisions I've made about how I want to run my practice, in particularly around insurance. One of the things that I have just struggled with and gone back and forth with in my mind is whether or not to keep taking insurance or not, and whether to just go strictly cash pay with my practice. When I started into private practice 10 years ago, I talked with a therapist in my town, and he really kind of suggested that I do take insurance. And the reason he said for taking insurance is that it just kind of guarantees and creates for you a steady flow of referrals. And I have very much found that that is very true. One of the things that I know is that probably 50% or maybe more of the referrals I get now come to me because people find me on the insurance company website and they find me as an in-network provider. Now, one of the things about the pros and cons of taking insurance, and one of the things that I just want to be totally upfront about, taking insurance does require more work. Primarily more work on the front end. But once you get the things in place that you need to get in place to be able to take insurance and to automate your system, it's really no more difficult than having a cash pay client. The downside too is that what you get reimbursed or what your contracted rate is probably going to be much lower than what your full rate would be. My full rate right now in my practice is $125 per session, which is about average probably nationwide for most therapists. What I actually get reimbursed from insurance companies is probably anywhere from $70 to $90 per session. So it's not that much less, but it is less. So those are things you have to take in consideration when you think about whether or not you want to be an insurance provider and accept people's insurance. The other thing that you have to take in consideration, I think, and this is the big one, is the demographics of your area and the community in which you're in practice. The area that I live in is primarily a rural area. I'm located in Kingsport, Tennessee, which is in the northeast corner of Tennessee, and we're one of the cities of what is referred to as the Tri-Cities region or the Tri-Cities. Overall, the demographics is very Appalachian. It is primarily rural, and it is also primarily blue collar, to use that term. Most of the people living in our area heavily depend on their health insurance to receive health services. And one of the big things that I get asked nearly always when people call to make appointments or to ask about our services is, do you take my insurance? Now, one alternative I could do is if I were cash paying, if I were just receiving cash only for my services, is to explain to them things like, well, I don't take insurance because I've got to give you a diagnosis and it breaks, it might compromise your confidentiality. And all of those particular arguments for just not taking insurance. Truth of the matter is, most people around here just don't buy into that. And the reason why is they are so used to being able to use their insurance benefits, which they pay for through their employers, and that the employers provide for them as part of their compensation. They are okay with having to get a diagnosis, or being able to, for me to share information with the insurance company. So it really does not create a problem for most clients. In fact, most clients don't really care about that. There are some that do, and we certainly talk about that in sessions if that's a concern for them. So my point is, with all of this, is that I would say that taking insurance is okay to do. I have found that it works for my practice, and there are numerous other therapists out there that have found that as well. True, it does take some more work. It requires being able to educate yourself on the various things involving taking insurance. But I think just for me, ethically, I need to be able to provide that to the clientele of my area, because it gives them availability to the services they desperately want and need. So over the next few posts and weeks, I'm going to be posting a lot of information about taking insurance, about how to negotiate what I refer to as that insurance maze, and being able to make it work for your practice, and being able to feel good about taking insurance and providing that to the clients that you serve. So thanks for listening, and hope that all of this information is helpful for everyone. Bye-bye, folks.